Good afternoon, everyone. It's Thursday, July 2nd, and we're just past the halfway point of 2020. Can you believe it? It feels like an eternity. As you can see, we're starting today's drive from the top of Blue Mountain, going down a road very familiar to us. You don't get quite the views this time of year because you got the trees grown in. But, so it's about 1 o'clock. It's a little cloudy on this side of the mountain. It was 88 degrees on the south side on my drive up here. It spiked to 90 briefly. As I crested the mountain, it flipped over to 84. And I still want to say we're in a heat wave. What do you think of that, Texas? Can I call this a heat wave yet? No? And you guys are a tough crowd, but alright, I'm going to take you for a ride anyway. You almost made me change my mind, but came here to show you guys some stuff, and we're going to do it anyway. So what am I doing today? I'm going down Blue Mountain, and I've talked about in way too many videos that there's not very many ways over this mountain by car, hence why you keep seeing the same two routes over and over. I thought what we'd do today is take a drive and show you the road less traveled, and that's a little bit east of here. I should have measured it before I came. I'll pop up the mileage in a caption. I'm a stat junkie. You have to bear with me. The real challenge here will be seeing if I can do this okay without a map. And the reason I say that, I've only done this drive one time. Not where we are now. I'm talking about going over the other crossing that I'm taking you to. I drove it one time about a decade ago, back before we had smartphones to even check things like maps. And I did it on my motorcycle. It was just one of those days. It was a nice day. I had a case of wanderlust and decided that's where I was going to go. And looks like we got an Appalachian Trail hiker there. Let me tell you this, it's not a route I would recommend taking on a motorcycle, and you'll see why when we get there. Now, this road that I just turned onto, this is Lower Smith Gap Road, and this road I've actually driven quite a few times. Usually, actually, I think all but maybe twice on motorcycle. I used to, I haven't ridden the motorcycle in recent years, but you know, around a decade ago. I bought it in 2008. I used to ride it everywhere. That's when gas prices were first going up, and the joy of getting 50-some miles per gallon on two wheels was pretty compelling. And it was a good chance to explore these back roads. This was actually the start of a route that I used to take, the back roads up to Pocono Raceway. We're not going to go there today. But to actually go over that mountain pass, I only did it that one time. And I gotta say, I don't remember it that well. I mean, I do. I remember parts of it, but I'm not sure how good a view we're going to get in terms of what the tree, you know, how much tree cover there is versus what you're going to see. I had wanted to come out here in the winter, last winter, because you can get better views without the leaves on the trees, and the reason I didn't was every time I had time to do it, the sun was so low in the horizon that you know, you would have gotten a big view of the sun and probably not much else. So I'm doing this midday today. Obviously this is my vacation week. I'm off from work, at least from the day job. How's that going? Well, honestly, it's been so far more work than play. I've had some side work. It's trailed off a little bit because it's the holiday week. We really haven't had good weather, and I'm not talking about the heat. Well, we've had the heat, but today's actually the first rain-free day of my break. Actually, I think we did have one other day. I think it might have been Monday. We might have gone the whole day without rain, but I had so much I was trying to do in terms of errands and appointments that I only got out for a very short walk at the end of it. The rest of the days have been those, you know, the one day we had steady rain most of the day. The other days have just been those you know, pop-up hit-or-miss showers where you get sun for a while and then you get absolutely drenched and zapped by lightning for 10 minutes, and then the sun comes back out. And needless to say, I haven't been out. I haven't gotten on the trail like I hoped I would. Looking at the forecast ahead, you know, I was maybe a little ambitious with my plans for this week. I don't know if I'm going to get out. We'll see. You know, you take each day as it comes. That's part of the joy of being off, is that you could just kind of like this drive here. Is this the turn? Shoot. Here, I'm trying to do this without a map. I thought this was the turn, and apparently it's not. Alright. Error number 1. There's a right turn somewhere. That's not it. I mean, if I have to, I'll pull over and check the phone. Just the way I have my phone set up, it's very hard to use it while driving, and you know, you can miss a turn real fast out here like that. So anyway, what have I done that's fun? I am getting some editing done. I think you've seen 2 of the videos so far. You've seen the model of Martin Tower. If you haven't, check it out. I think it's one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. And the welder who built it, John Gronsky, he put a lot of work. And when I say a lot of work, I mean 2 years of work into that thing. The real Martin Tower was still standing when he started building that. And then you saw my, yesterday, hopefully you saw my Fields of Gold video, taking a look at some of this year's canola oil crops. That's become, you know, we have the leaf peeping in the fall, and I guess I'll have to come up with a term. Canola peeping doesn't quite do it for me, but, you know, the last couple of springs, you can't miss it. These bright yellow fields you could see for miles and miles and miles. There were probably more that I didn't see, but they were really in full bloom when Pennsylvania was being pretty strict on the stay-at-home orders, even to the point of, you know, there was rumors about crackdowns on joyriding. So I was a little hesitant to go out. I think in hindsight I should have gone out more. I think the media hyped up the problems more than the actuality of it. But anyway, can't go back. Hopefully that becomes an annual event. I've edited so far 2 other videos you haven't seen. 1 driving video, 1 hiking video. And when I get home today, I'm going to edit this one. You'll probably see this one after the hiking video. And then I've got 2 more hiking videos to edit, a couple biking videos. Like I said, the queue is still pretty full in terms of what I want to edit to show you guys. I'm going to try to get back to doing 2-3 videos a week if I can, once I get the queue filled up. And then hopefully my neighbors, even though they're not doing, they always throw a big 4th of July party. They have a little farm and a barn. They usually throw a 4th of July party and pretty much invite everybody they know. They're not doing that this year, obviously, because of the pandemic. But they are going to do the fireworks. And if you guys didn't see last year's display, I'll put a link up on the screen. That video was filmed with my iPhone, and it's not even really the whole show, because the iPhone, when I found it, has seems to have a tough time focusing at night. So some of the fireworks I got really clear shots of, and it turned out really good, and then others I just, you know, I ended up cutting out more than I ended up keeping in. They're going to do some fireworks this year. He already told me it's not going to be as many as last year. He's going to try to keep it low-key, because they don't want people turning up physically because of the social distancing. But if he does that, and that is, of course, weather dependent, but if he does that, I'm going to use the GoPro this year, since that has a fixed lens. Hopefully that's going to do a better job of capturing the fireworks. Looks like they're starting a new little road for houses maybe up there. It's must be nice to live out here. This is pretty remote. So hopefully we'll get a fireworks video this weekend, at least have some semblance of a holiday this year. We'll see how that turns out, see if they're able to shoot them off, see if I'm able to get the video that I hope I can with the GoPro. And what else? I'm still mulling over my big decision. And that decision, if you, I don't know if you stuck with me through my long-winded last video. I'm basically trying to decide between taking my side business full-time and leaving my day job. And in some ways, that decision is made. The decision is I want to go full-time with the business. I mean, the day job, I've overstayed my welcome by a couple of years already. I don't see a long-term future for me there. I'm not happy there, blah, blah, blah. I think the question about the business is coming down to when. They want us back in the office July 9th. Is this the road? This is the road. Alright, I'll get back to talking about the business. This is Point Phillips Road. Leah and Tracy, I think they named it after you. There's only two ways over Blue Mountain by car between routes 33 and 248 in this area. 248, as you know, goes through Lehigh Gap. I drive it all the time. Route 33 is off to the east. It runs between Easton and Stroudsburg. I haven't done any driving video there. Maybe I will someday. Honestly, it's not that interesting in my opinion. Maybe I'll do it someday. Who knows? Between those 2 points, which kind of are, the bookends of the Lehigh Valley, there's only 2 roads that go over Blue Mountain. There's Blue Mountain Drive, which goes past the ski resort, which is where we started this drive. And then there's this road. This is, like I said, Point Phillips Road. At least that's what it's named on this side of the mountain. We're on the north side of the mountain right now, heading south. It becomes Smith Gap Road on the other side, not to be confused with Lower Smith Gap Road, which we just turned off of to get here. So this is, the reason you haven't seen this before is obviously I've got to go really out of my way to get to it. There's not really anything on either side of this road that I would normally go to for any other reason other than just plain joyriding. Of course, now that I'm trying to slow down and give you guys a good ride, I got an SUV on my bumper. Of course, no traffic on this road until you try to slow down and enjoy yourself. That's my luck. So real quick, I don't want to linger too long on the business issue today because it's still a work in progress, but I think the decision is coming down to when, not if. They want us back at the day job next Thursday. I'm not okay with that. I'm not comfortable with that. The pandemic, the case counts are rising here, worryingly so, as they are in most of the country. I have health concerns. I'm not going to go into detail on that. We're going to see what happens Thursday. A decision may be forced upon me at that point. Personally, I'd like to get through at least July before making that decision. And the reason being, I've got 2 classes coming up. One is just the routine, the third in the series of Adobe Creative Cloud classes, which is Adobe InDesign. That was planned anyway, and I signed up for another 3-week class that runs, starts Monday and it runs to the end of July, and it's specifically geared towards building the kind of business I'm trying to build. And what I'd really like to do is go through that class and use that to really nail down my plan, because I'm still a little in the dark with how to market this thing and what direction to proceed. And what I'd like to do is get through that class, put together a rock solid plan, and then give my employer a proper 2 weeks notice. That's what I would like to do. I'm not going to say that's going to happen. I could find myself next week this time out of a job and be going for a drive and telling you guys a different story, or to meet some other goals I have. Ideally, honestly, I would prefer to wait till the start of 2021, just because of some financial goals I'm trying to hit. I may be running out of road for that, though, so, we're going to see what happens there. Still got this SUV on my bumper. I'm surprised he's not flashing the lights, but that's all I'm going to say about the business for now. Hold on, guys, man. Hold on. I got a bigger problem besides this SUV on my bumper. Hold on. I got to pull off here. We're at the top of the mountain. I'll be right back. Hello? Anybody here? I could swear I saw something. That's why I pulled off the road. I know you're here. Oh my. Oh my, what have we here? So guys, I don't know how to explain this one. I don't normally pick up hitchhikers, but we got ourselves a new little friend here. Apparently he's gotten himself lost. I'll say hello. His name is Katz. He's been hiking the Appalachian Trail. He says he set out with his buddies, and they were trying to find the Phillips farm in Mansfield, Arkansas. He heard there was some good fishing there. I don't know if you can see. He's caught himself some fish up here in the mountain. I don't know how he managed to do that. But he's telling me there's a really good fishing creek on the Phillips property. And he said his gnome friends moved there recently. And he was trying to keep up with them, but he lost them. So he's been hiking this trail. He's been hiking. In fact, we're sitting right here at the Appalachian Trail. He said he came out to Point Phillips Road and he thought the farm was here. And now he's here and he said, man, this isn't Arkansas. I don't know where I am. He's lost. He's looking for help. So, yeah, I don't normally pick up hitchhikers, guys, but I think I'm going to make an exception here, and I think I'm going to help this poor little fellow find his way home. What do you think? Should we do that? Alright, let's do it. Alright, so what do you say we continue the drive? I've got the hitchhiking gnome named Katz, who says he's trying to fish for catfish at the Phillips farm. He is safely buckled into the passenger seat. And we're going to bid farewell to the Appalachian Trail. And Leah, I'm going to try to help this little fellow make his way to your farm and reunite with his friends. I know his friends have been causing you some mischief, but looks like you're getting one more. So, as we continue our drive, we are now crossing the top of Blue Mountain, heading south into the Lehigh Valley. And this is the portion that's named Smith Gap Road. And you can see why a decade ago when I came out here on the motorcycle, I found myself pretty unhappy. In fact, I had driven basically the same loop that we did in this video, where I came up on the south side on Point Phillips Road and then over the top. And so I drove down this lovely gravel road. In fact, I think they had... at the time I had done it, they had just put down some fresh gravel, because I want to say I remember being in worse shape than this, but it could be because I was on two wheels and feeling a whole lot less sure of myself. Had I been smart, I would have just turned around and gone back the way it was paved, the way I came. But nah, I kept driving down the whole thing on the motorcycle. It turned out okay. I got down. I was, whoa. Yeah, it's a little bumpy here. Kind of got that washboard effect in this turn. Yeah, I made it down fine. Probably going about half the speed I'm going now, which is, yeah, about 10 miles an hour. Yeah, you can see a little bit to the horizon from here, but it is pretty hazy, so I don't know how that's going to show up on the drive cam. A little hard to talk with all these bumps. Glad I didn't come up this way. Ah, geez. Yeah, you can also see why I don't drive this regularly. This is truly the only reason you either come here is you're visiting somebody up here, or you're going to the Appalachian Trail, or you're just doing a wacky video like I'm doing. So, I'm going to take you guys to the bottom of this. Not sure how long that's going to take. At this speed, this could be an hour-long video. Didn't really have a whole lot else I wanted to talk about today. Just to let you guys know I'm doing alright, and hopefully I'm to the part of the vacation week that can start to feel more like a vacation. And hey, we're down to 79 degrees. I mean, that's how dramatically the weather can change up here in these mountains. You get to the higher elevations, you go from one side to another, and really is a different world. You know, so whether or not I get out on the trails is kind of irrelevant at this point. I'm just going to, you know, enjoy some indoor stuff, do some editing, probably work on my personal websites a bit. I know that sounds like work, but to me that's actually fun. We do have some racing coming up. IndyCar is at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the former Formula One road course, the infield road course, and we're finally back on pavement, speaking of roads. IndyCar's at Indianapolis Saturday afternoon. It's a doubleheader with NASCAR. NASCAR is going to run on the oval. I believe that would be the Brickyard 400. I have no way to watch it. Well, I can watch the IndyCar part of it. I have no way to watch the NASCAR part of it. And then Formula One is finally going to be back in action on Sunday. It's going to be the first of 2 races in Austria. They're going to do some of the European races. They're going to do back-to-back weekends at the same track. So they're going to start off in Austria Sunday. So I have to subscribe to a streaming service to be able to watch that. Hopefully that's going to work out for me. It will definitely be nice to get back to being able to watch some racing. So a little bit of a semblance of normal. Alright, looks like we are back to civilization, or at least as close as you're going to get to it here. I do love it out here. I had actually looked at a house when I started looking to move 13 years ago. I had looked at a house somewhere around here. I don't know if I could ever find it again, but really loved it, and actually went to put an offer in on it, and it had already been under contract. It sold that fast. It was a really good deal. But alright, thanks for riding along. I'm going to let you guys go. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leah, make room for one more of these guys. I don't know what to tell you. He's begging to come your way, so I'm going to help him get there. Alright, thanks again, everybody. Have a happy 4th of July holiday. Stay safe. And thank you for watching. Bye.